Good morning, my name's Lynn from CraftwithBellaJane, and this morning I'm going to make a little booklet to fit inside my red Gothic lap book somewhere in this section here. So it's just going to be a freestanding piece that just tucks into the centre there. So I'm going to get on with that this morning. Now I saw this little booklet on, I saw it on Happiness in Crafting with G Care, and I thought, oh, that's just the sort of thing I need to go inside my my new lap book. So that's what I decided to do. So these all unravelled. I've got them in a bag of black and red ribbons, and they've all unravelled. So when I pulled them out of the bag, they were in a right mess. So that's a job for sitting in front of the TV, I think, isn't it? So yes, I've got everything ready. I've sort of started, rather than give you the boring bits like the gluing of things onto card. So these are from the Gothic kit, one of the Gothic kits I've been using in my red Gothic lap book, and JunkWithSteph, I think this one is. Anyway, I'll put a link below for you. So all I've done is I've taken some card and I've stuck one of the digi sheets on the front and one of the digi sheets on the back, upside down. There we are. And now I'm going to trim around the edges. So I've got this card that I've stuck this onto. I've had it for years. It was just a really cheap crafting card, and when I started junk journaling, I decided it just was no good really for anything because it was so nasty. So when I was watching her video, she said, oh, you can use any bit of card that you've got handy, even cereal boxes. So I thought, oh, I might as well use a bit of that card. So it could be that this is all going to be a total waste of time because all I did was I just sort of bent it a little bit to see how this was going to work, and it creased immediately. I don't know whether you can see that on camera, but there's already a nasty crease in there, and I'm really not very happy with it, but maybe I'll be able to disguise it. Anyway, the other thing is that sticking these papers that don't have borderless on them on two sides of a piece of card is really quite difficult because you never get them to line up. So there we are. So this is going to be a smaller version of what G Kerr did in her video, but we'll have a go anyway. So I've got that ready. I've got these ready. These are also attached to some card, but not the card that, not the same card as I used for that. Now these are going to be little tuck pockets on the inside. So I'm just trimming off the white edges. And again, I've used this Gothic kit from JunkWithSteph. I think that's what she's called. Just brought in a couple of bits that I thought might be useful. What I'm going to do with this is to pop it down the side like that, this velvet ribbon, which is going to be lovely. This is just one of the cards out of the kit, which I've avoided really because they're quite a pale pink, but you need to have something on the front. So yeah, so I thought that I'll put something underneath it so it stands out a bit better, but yeah, I'll put that on there maybe. There are actually some grey ones, so we might have a look at that. Bit of bling, the obligatory bling. Oh, I know what that is. It's the back pocket. There we are. Couldn't remember what that was. So I think that's a bit tall, but it's going to go on there. And already it hides quite a lot of that bend, doesn't it, for me? So yeah, so there's that. That's also going to have a piece of ribbon or velvet on there. And I might put it there just so I don't lose those crosses, which are quite sweet. So this is actually going to have to go quite a long way. This is the only piece of velvet that I've got. So it's going to have to go along there and along the next one. So yeah, we've got plenty left. And then the other ribbon that I showed you, I'm going to use as a closure, I think. So yeah, so that's those bits. And then yeah, part of it is I didn't have any coffee dyed paper ready, so I'm just using white at the moment, but I will probably colour or dye this in some way once I've finished on this video. So it's just some A4 sheets, plain A4 sheets, which I split into 3 using this trick where you just fold it like that and get it as near as you can to 3, and then fold it down as best you can. And then I just trimmed off all the edges and made it into a booklet. Now, to be honest, I've made a bit of a tatty job of it. So I probably could do with getting my big slicer out and trimming down the edges of this. Or at the end of the day, is it that important? By the time I've dyed it, and do they have to be the same size, you know? So this is simply going to be for journaling space, and it's just like a little pad. So once you made this pad, you then have to join it together. So I've got this piece of with some writing on from the kit. There's no beauty without some strangeness, and I think we've used that before. And we're just gonna, and I've just rounded the edges off. So we're just gonna put that over the top of there like that, and make like a little closure like that. And then we're going to glue that on. Now, I'm not going to complete this bit because I want to, as I've just said, I want to dye these sheets of paper because they're a bit bright and stark for this. But I will show you the process. So, yeah, so I'll show you the process, but I won't complete it. Okay. So that's that. The other thing is these sheets which go in all the pockets. Now, I think A4 is going to be too big. Yes, it is. So these are going to have to be cut down. And to be honest, I'm not sure if even the width of them are a bit too much, to be honest, but there we are. So these are going to be cut down. I am going to have to get out my big trimmer. And cut a couple of inches off the end of that, I think, and then they'll fit all right in these pockets. And then also one's got to go on the back, so this is far too big for this back pocket. But the idea is to just make like a letter that you can put inside the pockets, and then make like a nice little symbol along the top. So just for example, just cut yourself a nice little piece. Now I've only got this size of corner rounder, I know lots of people have lots of different sizes, but this is the only one I've got. And at the end of the day, it's what you can lay your hands on in the shops you go to. So the idea is to just pop that on there, just to give it a bit of interest. So if I were to cut this down, let's say about there, and that would go on the top of the letter like that. So it's just a bit of visual interest, that's all that is. And then I would glue that on, and then I would use my vintage photo just to go all the way around. So that's that. So I'm going to make 3 of those. I've got some more paper that I can use, and just decide which one to put on the top of there. And so that's that. That's that. Goodness me. There we are. So that's that. Right, so the next thing is to make the fold. So let's tidy up a bit of this and see where we're going next. It's not like me, I don't normally get myself into a pickle, but I just wanted to have everything here to show you what I was doing. So that's that. That's coming next. Let's get rid of this white card. Okay. Now then, the measurement. Oh, the measurements were on the white card. Yeah, so let's get a ruler. So this is now 11, nearly 11 and a quarter, about 11 and a quarter, and inches, and about 8 inches wide. So yeah, so already this is lifting a little bit, so I need to pop a bit more glue on there, and remind me not to use that glue ever again. Right, now the problem that I have is I don't actually have a scoreboard. So I'm going to use my pen, and then I'm going to put some marks on here so I know where I want my score lines to go. So from what I could gather from G Kerr, we're having 1, 2, 3 and a quarter, and 3 and 3/4, and that gives you 1/4 of an inch, approximately 1/4 of an inch in the center of there. So same on this side, we're going 3 and a quarter, that's a half, and 3 and 3/4, and in the center that gives you that center there, which is roughly the size we want for that pocket. Okay, so I'm going to measure that at the bottom as well, because as I say, I haven't got the scoreboard. So 3 and 3/4, it's there, and then another 1/4 of an inch in, which is about there. Same on this side. Oh, I don't know if you can even see, I'm well out of camera shot, aren't I? 3 and there, and then about 1/4 of an inch, I think, to there. Now this is not going to be spot on, I don't think, so we're just going to do the best we can. I've got a metal side on this ruler, and there. So it looks about right. We'll just have to try our best. So I'm going to use this. Now I have tried to do this using scissors, and to be honest, you end up cutting the cutting through your paper. So whilst this isn't ideal, It's the only tool I've got at the moment which does, well, I'm saying it works. It does work, but it's not wonderful. So there we are. Let's give it a go. Let's bend it against the ruler and hope for the best. There we are. Not so bad, not so bad. And again, actually I was going to have the red on the front, so whilst I am bending this in this direction to start with, I may very well bend it back again. So that's that. Bend that back. And it just gives you that little 1/4 of an inch spine, just a tiny spine. And then of course we're a bit off here, aren't we? So as I said, I didn't think my measurements were perfect, but, and this is quite heavy. This might be my first major disaster on camera. Don't know, we'll have to see. It's not so bad, it's not wonderful. There we are. And then this one, carefully, just ease it in. There we are. Just even. Carefully, carefully, carefully. And that really doesn't like it, does it? There we are. There we are. That's it. Oh, that's it. That's not so bad. No, it's not wonderful. And I think a lot of it's to do with this horrible card that I've got underneath. And the fact that I haven't got a proper scoreboard. So that's that side. I suppose the other thing you could do is just bend it. But we'll carry on and hope for the best. Right, so of course that card, the bend that I've got in the card already is nowhere near the lines that I want, but as we said earlier, most of that will be hidden by the pocket. And then this one, I'm just going to eyeball this a bit because I can see just with my eye that it's well off. And yeah, I'm a little bit horrified because I can see this is just not perfect. And I'm a bit of a stickler. I like things to be right. This is just not wonderful, but there we are. Let's give it a go. I'm sure when you come to make one, if you make one, you make a better job than I've made. So I think I said yesterday there's a couple of things I'd like to buy. One of them is a guillotine, and the other one is a scoreboard, and I have been looking at them online, but they're terribly expensive. And just at the moment, I've got other things going on. I'm not really prepared to spend the money on either of those things, to be honest. But here we are. Such is life. You can't have everything that you want immediately that you want it, and that is absolutely horrible, isn't it? I don't like that at all. It's absolutely awful. I really don't like it. But you get the idea. So that folds over there. And also, I think I prefer that fold that way. So I think what's going to happen here is this is going to have to be, I think, just a bend, and you can see it's absolutely horrible. I really don't like it at all. Not impressed with that. So I think what's going to happen is this is going to have to be like a bendy journal. Well, it's not a journal, is it? But it's just a notebook thing. But it's going to have to be bendy like that, I think. And I think what I'm going to have to do is get out some lace, and of course this is overkill because this is only supposed to be a quickie little journal, and put some lace down there. And that's the beauty, isn't it, of junk journaling. You know, we can actually repair things and recover things, and it doesn't look too bad on that side. Again, you can see that bend just there. So yeah, so none of us are perfect, are we? And that isn't really, yeah, that's not even either, is it? That isn't even at all. But you know, there we are. What can we do? What can we do? I don't know. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to bend it over something like the edge of the desk, and I'm just going to get the bend in there like that. There we are. So yeah, so looking better. So maybe, yeah, a thinner piece of lace. See, that one's not too bad, but you can see it's totally not even. This one is all over the place. Absolute mess. Yeah, so am I going to waste any more time on this, or shall I just cut this down for journaling cards and make myself a new back for this project? And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, I've decided that the disaster that I managed to make was just not good enough. So what I've done is I've cut it down now, and I've made it into you know, just it's going to be what's going to be a soft spine, isn't it, or two soft spines. So I'm just going to bob some washi tape on here just to hold it in place while I attach the material and the lace which I've got ready. So nothing's wasted, and that's the beauty, isn't it, of junk journaling. Nothing's wasted at all. So here we go, we've got everything in its place, that there and that there. So that's going to fold over nicely, and that's the one I wanted on the front in the first place. So yeah, so I'll just put a little bit more of this on here just to hold everything in place, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, so a few minutes off camera, and I've managed to fix it, hopefully, and I hope it gives you encouragement, really, that, you know, I've been crafting all my life, and it doesn't always work out, does it, you know? So I've got some material here. It's just a polycotton. I did have some silk, but I thought, you know, why make things more difficult for yourself? Let's just bob this polycotton on here like this in the centre, and then I've got some lace to go on the front. So I've cracked open the new bottle of Fabri-Tac, because that other one was just absolutely gloopy, what was left of it, and it was driving me mad. So yeah, so fingers crossed now that we have a bit of success, because after this morning's escapades, I actually thought, oh, that's it, I'm no good at crafting today. Yeah, you have days like that, don't you? You have days when things don't go right for you in everything in life, but sometimes, oh my word, I don't know, things just turn out to be a complete and absolute disaster, which was what happened this morning. And you know, maybe if I'd have made a prototype before I started, you know, I might have learned my lesson off camera. But you know, there's a lesson in everything, isn't there, really? And the lesson I take from that is that I hope that I've given somebody the encouragement to carry on even when you think you're absolutely hopeless and nothing's going right. And not just in crafting, in everything really. So yeah, so hopefully we'll have a bit of success from now on and get this finished, because it was never supposed to be an epic. It was just supposed to be a quick booklet. I've got glue all over me again. A quick booklet to pop in the middle of my red gothic lap book. So yeah, but there we are. What do they say? Best laid plans of mice and men, isn't it? Okay, so the other thing is I think I need to ease up a little bit on this Fabri-Tac, because I might be using too much, you know. There we are. So that's the inside, and I'm wondering if I could do with some wet wipes at the side of me when I'm doing things like this. Okay, so that's that. That's upside down, so that's that way round. So I've just got this now. Now the question is, do I take this tape off? And I think yes, I do, because I don't really want that showing through. And the beauty of this tape, which, gosh, it never sticks that well, does it? Is it peels off neatly without causing any problems. So there we are. Let's get rid of that. And, you know, I'm not sure about that either, to be honest, because you can see through it. So I think maybe, shall we have some more of this? And I think the answer is yes. So I'll just cut some of this off. I'm not going to make it quite as wide as the inside one. As I said, this is just polycotton. It's just something that I had in my box of material. Had there for years from other projects. I mean, I'm a pretty, I suppose, eclectic is the word. I'll turn my hand to most things. I think this was from my, I was doing some quilting, patchwork, yeah. And I bought quite a bit of this when I was doing my patchwork, and yeah, so that's fine, isn't it? Much better, much better. Looks looks a lot tidier, so you can't see what's going on. So I'm just pulling these threads just to see, you know, get a better look. There we are. So I'll just cut that off there. Cut that off there, and then I'll cut those ends off at the end. So just get myself a clean page on here, and we'll have a go with the glue. See if we can manage to do this without going mad with the glue. Sorry, I've gone off camera again, haven't I? And the newbie excuse is only going to work for so long, isn't it? This is the stickiest glue, isn't it? This Fabri-Tac. I mean, it's wonderful stuff, but oh my word, it doesn't half get on you. There we are. That's a better job. My fingers are sticking together now as well. It looks so easy when you watch other people doing this, doesn't it? And then you come to do it yourself and you just turn into a ball of stickiness. And like I say, my fingers are sticking together then. Okay, a bit more on the end there, just a tiny bit. That's it. Put the lid back on. Just checking to see that I am actually recording. I'll just cut these off. Get my scissors all gloopy again. But at least I know now, wash them under the hot soapy water in the sink. That's fine for me, seems to work. There we are. Okay, that's nice enough, like that. That's fine, isn't it? Quite like that. Right, so what's next? Sip of tea, I think. Okay, so the other thing I did while I was off camera is I worked on these. So I put some velvet ribbon down the edges. So these are going on here, like that. And then I worked on the pad. Made it nice and neat this time. Fastened it together with some staples. And there's that topper that I told you about, which is going there. And that's going in the centre there. So let's put this on and go from there. So I think we'll just ink around. I don't think we need to ink around the edge of this actually, do we? We'll just ink the top. Because it's paper on paper, we'll just use the Pritt stick. And you can see bits stuck to my finger there with that Fabri-Tac. There we are. What's going on there like that? Just make sure it's central. Do you know what? I don't think I am. I don't think I should be crafting today, actually. I am a bit gammy. Seem to be a bit gammy-handed today. Must be one of those days, mustn't it? So I can actually see those staples through that paper because it's only 80 gram, 80 GSM. So I'll probably put a little piece of that lace which I had cut. I'll probably put a little piece of that over the top of there. So that's that. So that needs to go in there like that. And obviously I'm going to have to use the Fabri-Tac because I'm going onto this fabric. So I don't think we'll need a great deal. We'll just go along the top like that. I think that'll be fine. Got to learn not to go so mad with my glue, I think. So that's the centre there. Where's the centre? Let me see. That's not central. That's central now, pretty much as central as it needs to be anyway. I think that'll be fine. There we are. And then these can go on. And I might as well just use this again. I know it's expensive, but we might as well just carry on like this with this Fabri-Tac for now. And we don't need a lot. This one's going on here. And I made sure I trimmed all these readiness. I did get out my big cutter and trimmed everything down, trimmed the papers down, and there we are. That's it. Okay, so I'll put some Fabri-Tac on this one as well. And once again, I won't go too mad with the glue. There we are. I do like this paper. I haven't actually used this one in the inside the lap book. Because I sort of tried to avoid the purple because I hadn't used any purple colours. But I thought, well, it's fine in this little booklet because it's a separate entity, isn't it, really? And also I wanted to use up the papers that I'd printed. I didn't want to waste anything or have to print off more. Because, well, you know what we're like. I'll end up with a stack of papers that are just going to go in my stash. So, yeah. So, those are nice, those little pockets. Okay, so these are the next thing. These are the little letters that I just made out of, cut down some A4 paper and made 3 little letters. This is just a nice touch, just to blend the letters in with everything else. And they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inches. 5.5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. That's all they are. So they're just going to go in there like that. Like that. And one in there like that. Now this one I'm going to keep for the back. Exactly the same. And somewhere, oh, here it is, I've made this one. And just to show you what I did, I just inked all around. Haven't inked the inside of that one. And then I used some Pritt stick. I just cut this to a size that I thought would go on there, and then I rounded the corners and then popped them on with some Pritt stick. There we are. Well, I use Pritt stick. You can use whatever glue you want to use, really. I mean, the good thing about using a stick glue is it's dry, isn't it? It's a dry glue, so you don't get all that wrinkling that you get with the wet glues, which is great. Okay, so that one's going in there like that. So now what we've done now is we've given ourselves lots and lots of room for journaling. Now this doesn't want to go in there, and because it's wet, I don't want to actually make a big issue out of it until it's dry. And I can always trim those down a bit if I want to. So I'm just going to pop those to one side for now, while I do the next thing, which is to cut a little piece of this lace to go on the top of there, like that. Oops. Sorry, my head's in it again. There we are. So just a little bit of, a little blob of a good old Fabri-Tac again. Not too much. I'm not squeezing at the moment, so I'm just spreading this out using the nozzle. I think that's a far more sensible amount of glue actually than I've used in the past, because I think I've just gone a bit heavy-handed, to be honest. There we are. That's much better. And I think that's probably the clue, isn't it? Just don't be so heavy-handed with the Fabri-Tac. So yeah, that's that. That's going to fasten like that and like that. I can see that I'm going to have to do a little bit of trimming here and there. You can see that's just a little bit of white showing on there. And then once I've trimmed, just apply a little bit. Now I think this is just lifting a little bit, so that's another job for me, just to reapply that with a little bit more glue. So yeah, so that's where I was really, my heart sunk then. I thought, oh no, I've done everything upside down. So you can see again, just need to trim here. And there, and then obviously I'm just going to have to run a little bead of glue down these edges, make sure they're properly attached, and and then re-ink them. Okay, now next the back. So here we go. So I've applied, I've put some velvet on the back pocket as well, and I've just put a bit of ink on this rose because it was a bit bright. So this is now going on here like that, and then this one is going in there like that. And I'm still not convinced that I might just coffee dye these as well. So that's going on there. So let's use this tacky glue and just run a bead of this. Yeah, so I'm not going to go too mad with this glue. Making a right mess, aren't I, today? I don't know. It's obviously just one of those days. Had a lovely walk with Jess at lunchtime. Went to the local nature reserve. Really nice. And had a lovely walk around in the sunshine. Managed to avoid the rain, which was intermittent, but managed to hold off while we were walking, so that wasn't too bad. Okay, so let's get this right down to the bottom now. There we are, just centralise that. And again, you see, look, I should have really used Fabri-Tac on there because it's going onto fabric. So let's hope it's all right. I'm sure it will be all right because these glues are supposed to be all-purpose and should work with fabric as well. So shouldn't really be a problem, should it? You just get too worried about everything, don't you, really? I mean, when I was teaching, just used to use PVA glue for everything. Just used to have a big gallon bottle of it and decant it. In fact, I've still got about 3 bottles of PVA glue in my box over there. Yeah, so that's all right. Like I say, that's going in there. Oh, that's fine. That fits fine in there. I don't want these to lift now, so what's going to happen once I go off camera is this is going to go underneath a big book and lie flat. I've just noticed now I've gone a bit squiffy there, so I don't know whether it's that that's squiffy or that that's squiffy, but it does look a bit squiffy. But there we are. It's just one of those days, isn't it, today? I don't know. Right, so the next thing is... Yeah, this is coming off now. So it's time for the big book. Definitely time for the big book. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is to use my new toy. And I said to you the other day about buying cheap, buying twice. And so I actually went on eBay and bought myself a new toy. So this is all... hinges on this now. Am I going to make a mess? No, there we are. What's that? And then put one of these in here. And I haven't decided yet which of these is right. I've really not really come to terms with this toy yet. But there we are. There. Yep, that's fine. So that's that. And then we need this. Let's tidy up. Now then, where's the end? Here it is. There we are. Now, I remember that it was something along the lines of 36 inches. So there's 20. And yeah, there's 30, 35, 36. Add a bit on for luck. And let's cut this off. Yeah. And then fold this in half. And just make that onto a small thing that will squidge through. There we are. Pull that through there. Tighten that up nicely. And then wrap this round a couple of times. And then bob that under there. And there. There we go. I don't know, just a bit clumsy today. There we are. Yeah, so there it is. And not quite finished because I'm supposed to put this on here. So that's supposed to be going on there, but I'm not over keen on it. I think that's too big and I think that's too big. So I'll probably just go for one of my words. And what should we choose? Eerie, ornate. Let's choose ornate and see what that's like. So these are just some words I just put into the word search, really. It was just I just put spooky words, I think I put in it, or gothic words or some such thing, and they came up. So I then all I did was I created a table in Word, Microsoft Word, and just wrote my words in it. And that's all there was to it, really. And that can go on there. I think got a bit of lace left. Pop some lace under it, I think. Like that. And there we are. There you go. And if you want to, you can also put a little bit of bling on there as well, like that. So let's just finish this off. And try not to go too mad with this. Now I'm not squeezing again, I'm just spreading that blob out. There it, oops, that's in the light. Just pop that down like that. Pop a little bit on here. And to be absolutely honest, I feel like I've been through the ringer with this little booklet, and it was supposed to be a nice easy little project that wasn't going to take me very long, and I could just whiz off a nice little video and share some skills. And oops, hang on, let's not forget the bling. And it's turned into quite a stressful little project, to be honest. And I hope it's not stressed any of you out, because, you know, it's not a stressful project at all. I think the biggest problem was I used that horrible cheap card to start with, and things went downhill from there. And I started to feel a bit that I wasn't doing a very good job, and there we are. But I think that's lovely. I think in the end, just want to coffee dye these, and then they can go in when everything is dry. So there we are, lovely little project, and it's just going to just sit in the centre of there, and that's nice, isn't it? Lovely. And I don't think I can get much more in there. I will show you this when I do my run through, but my flip through, but I've got a lovely piece of red, deep red ribbon to tie a big bow on that. So that'll be lovely when it's finished. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So there we are. So I hope you enjoyed that little project, and I really hope I didn't stress you out too much. And thank you for watching. And if it hasn't been too dreadful for you, perhaps you might like to like and subscribe if you'd like to do that. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.